This is our Harvard Apparatus pump, and on the back is the serial number. And this is the tubing we use, the R1000 Tygon. The internal, outside and wall diameters are shown here. In order to thread the tubing, we followed the instructions that came with the pump. So we place that particular thickness tubing on the inner of the notches, then use one of the wheel notches in order to thread the tubing around, and then place the tubing into the notch on the other side. We also tried pulling the tubing in order to make it seal better with the rotors. But when we turn it on, the rotor spins, but since there's nothing pressing the tubing against the rotors don't compress the tubing enough to actually suck the solution. And so if we zoom in, we can see the meniscus of the in this case, tap water, and it's just not being drawn anywhere even though the engine's running. And so what we tried to do is to prime the tube first, so air is obviously compressible, so we thought that maybe not enough suction is being generated when there's air in the tube. So we thought maybe if we primed the tube first, then perhaps it would work. But when we prime the tubing and then press start, you can see from the few air bubbles that are in the tube that the solution still isn't being sucked along. There's just nothing compressing the tube against the rotor, so there's no suction generated. And once again, no fluid comes out. So while the machine was running, another thing we tried was to prime the tube then, so perhaps those small air bubbles left were also causing a problem. So we primed the tubing while the machine was actually running. But again, once again, and I did that a few times, but once again, it's still not enough to actually make solution come out of the tubing.